Hello and welcome to CBA's edition of First Take. This time around, we're previewing the March Madness bracket. I'm Connor Dugan alongside my partners for today, Joe Grossman, Dylan Milvoy. Guys, the one seeds are pretty much locked up.
Yeah.
We've got the UCLA's, the Kansas, and then the other powerhouses in Texas, Purdue. Today we're talking about who might make it, who might not make it, who's on the bubble, right? So, who are your teams on the bubble? Who's on the bubble? Joe, we'll start with you.
So, my team's on the bubble. Well, I'm just going by ESPN because, not going to lie, not going to do that much research. But I have Boise State, NC State, Pittsburgh, and Penn State for my last 4 buys.
Yeah.
I mean, when NC State, Pittsburgh, Penn State, they all play in Power 5 conferences.
Yeah.
So they play against Q1 teams all the time. They play against 2 very good teams, and they picked up some good wins.
Yeah.
Penn State's always competitive. Pittsburgh has had their years, and this is one of them.
Yeah.
And NC State, same thing as Pittsburgh. So I think those 3 teams are pretty good, and also Boise State's having a very good season for themselves.
Yeah. Dylan, what are you thinking for the last 4 in?
Obviously, it's not going to be teams that we really think about, but for right now, I have Mississippi State, Utah State, Rutgers, and Nevada. I just think those are teams that they've had on and off seasons in their conferences, but maybe we can see something happen with them in the tournament.
Okay. Joe, what about the first 4 out?
So, a bit controversial with this one, but I have, not controversial. They have a pretty terrible year. Not going to lie. So, UNC, Arizona State, Wisconsin, and Oklahoma State. I mean, going to you, we thought UNC was going to fall. They had a lot of returners. They went far in the tournament last year, and they got a big transfer coming in. So it's surprising to see them in this spot, but at the same time, they still got the conference tournament, and they do have those types of players. Like Armando Baycock is one of the best big men in college basketball. Yeah. So I think he is very influential in their play. And also, if R.J. Davis and Caleb Love can get going, I think UNC is pretty dangerous.
Yeah.
They just weren't able to put it all together this year.
Yeah, we saw, like you said, we saw it last year. They really came together as an 8 seed. So, I mean, they didn't really have like a spectacular regular season last year, and they rose to the occasion come tournament time. R.J. Davis going off, Armando Baycott, like you said, going off. And we can see a similar thing this year. They might not make it as far as they did last year, but, we know UNC basketball, they'll rise to the occasion. All right, Dylan, we'll go to the next 4 out. What are you thinking?
Well, I got Michigan, Charleston, Clemson, and Oregon. I mean, Charleston just came off a conference win.
Well, Charleston's not going to be out anymore.
That is true, yeah. So
they won the tournament.
That's a little too late. So, but for right now, I have Michigan, Clemson, and Oregon. I just they've also had okay seasons, but all 3 of these teams can prove themselves and make it to the tournament and hopefully make something happen when they get there.
All right. So we've kind of gone through who's really on the bubble, who might make it, who might not make it. Just we'll obviously see on Selection Sunday. Who are 2 teams? We'll start with Dylan. We started with Joe last time. We'll start with you, Dylan. Who are 2 teams you'd like everyone to watch out for?
One of my teams is obviously one of my favorites, UNC. I do think, although they've had a bad season this year, they have beat some very good teams this season, even losing to some bad teams. But when they get to the tournament, they definitely have proved themselves. Just like last year, they were an 8 seed. No one expected them to go far. They pull off a bunch of upsets, and then they're in the championship, almost beating Kansas, even though they let up a big lead they had. But I just think, obviously, they might not do what they did last year, but they're certainly going to make the tournament, and they're going to go far in it because they have players like Armando Baycott, Caleb Love, R.J. Davis. They'll be fine this year. And I do think they are getting a lot of hate this year, and I don't think they deserve as much as that they're getting.
It's pretty deserved. I mean,
it is
going into the season number 1 ranked and being this bad, I mean,
Brutal.
You're NC State. I mean, not yeah. You're UNC. So
Mm.
but like you do expect better.
Yeah.
I mean,
You definitely have your on-and-off years, but I do think they're in the middle this year, and the tournament they'll definitely. We'll have to see how they do.
yeah, they definitely have some firepower.
Yeah. But then my other team is Charleston. I mean, they just came off their conference tournament in the CAA, but they have definitely proven themselves. I mean, when UNC was the number one team, they almost beat them, but then gave up in the end. They've definitely had a lot of good wins, and they've been a very strong team. Obviously, they blew out their conference for the most part, and it was definitely a team we didn't expect to see come out like this year. So I'm excited to see them play in the tournament.
Yeah.
No doubt. All right, Joe. 2 teams to watch out for in the bubble.
So first, I'm gonna go with Rutgers. A little biased here, New Jersey, but I think Rutgers can play with anyone. I mean, we've seen that with their win against Purdue. I mean, if Rutgers play Purdue, I feel like it's all automatic win last year and this year. And they got a close loss to Ohio State, very controversial. Could have been Alabama, could have not, but they're a very good team. They had a solid transfer with Cam Spencer, great addition to this year, and they also have Cliff Amore, New Jersey native, went to Roselle. I watched him since he was at Roselle, and kid's athletic. He's averaging a double-double this year, and he's really a focal point. I mean, he can play with any big man in this college basketball. So I think they're big, and also Paul McCahey, veteran, very good, very composed, good leader, and I think they have all the tools to go far. It's just whether they can bring it together. I mean, that's the really big thing. They don't really live up to the occasion sometimes. They're very inconsistent, but they do have the players. They do have defensively. They do have McConnell, and yeah, they are a very good team. And then my next one is I want to go with Michigan. I mean, they're in the Big Ten, and they play against basically the best teams in the nation. Big Ten is arguably the best.
One of the best conferences.
Yeah, so I think they can go on a run. I mean, they have Hunter Dickinson, who's shown out all 3 years, and he's a very good big man. Can hit a shot when he needs to, has an amazing touch around the rim. And they also have Jet Howard, the son of obviously Jawan Howard, and he's having a great year. And he's one of the most influential players on that team. And if those two can get hot, get going, I think Michigan can be very dangerous.
All right, there you have it. Joe Grossman, Rutgers, and Michigan, Milivoj, Charleston, UNC. They're 2 teams to watch as we approach Selection Sunday. Selection Sunday is this Sunday, where the bracket will be released and March Madness will get underway with the first 4 on Tuesday. This has been a special edition of the CBA Digital Network's edition of First Take. I'm Connor Durian alongside my partners Joe Grossman and Dylan Milivoj. We'll see you next time.